Hey, what's going on YouTube? Aura Storm here with starting another series today, testing the waters to see if this series will go off, and if I get views and commenters want me to continue it, I will continue it. So this is a new series I'm starting called Criminally Underrated Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This means cards that people forget they exist because of whether they're rank 4s or level 8 synchro monsters. There's other monsters in the pool that some people are knowledgeable and they know about, but this card is actually pretty good too. So the card I'm talking a little bit about today is a little bit of a known card called Thought Ruler Archfiend. Now, the reason this card is not really known is because it was used in the 5Ds anime by Sayer, which was pretty clearly evil character, and you only really don't see him that much. He's a side character, and he uses it in one episode. But this card was originally printed in the Duelist Genesis, which it's a 5Ds era set. So it was printed in the same set as Stardust Dragon, so it's a pretty forgotten card because of that reason. And it was recently reprinted in the Legendary Collection 5Ds, so it is a fairly affordable card at somewhere around the $4 or $5 range last time I checked. So what Thought Ruler Archfiend does as a level 8 generic synchro monster, the first effect reads, when this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, gain life points equal to that monster's original attack. Now what does this do for you? If I'm gaining life points, it means cards that Soul Charge and Solemn Warning cost me aren't as much of a neg. Meaning I don't have to pay as many I don't feel bad about paying 2,000 to stop a summon when I have 2,000 or 4,000 extra life points. Same thing with Soul Charge. This thing runs over 2 monsters and sends it into the graveyard. I'll probably easily have 4,000 life points at that point. So that's another good thing about this card, is that as long as it's running something over, you're in a good position. And the second effect reads, you can pay 1,000 life points, negate the activation of a spell or trap card that targets one psychic type monster and destroy it. Now, it applies to any psychic type monster on the field. Obviously, this card is a psychic type monster, so it's immune. So you can pay 1,000 to negate any kind of targeting spell or trap, whether it's book and spell is a key thing. So it's immune to stuff like Book of Moon, even, which is one of the best quick play spell cards in the game. It's also immune to all those Burning Abyss or running they're moving back towards the back row heavy builds with Wing Blasts and Karma Cuts, so this thing's immune to those as well. And it's multiple times in a chain, which means they can target it over and over. You can pay it, provided you have the life points to pay, you can negate all of them. It's a lot like Apex Avion in that regard. So the other thing about now you might say, well, why would I run this over something like Stardust Dragon? Well, it would depend. If you know your opponent is running a bunch of Fiendish Chains and targeting back rows. Now, obviously, right now in the current format, Mirror Force is more popular, so when in doubt, I make Stardust Dragon. But if I know I'm playing something like, say, Yosenju's or Teller Knights, and I know that they run a ton of Fiendish Chains and those targeting back rows, this card might be a better option for me. And another thing about this particular card is not difficult to make, provided you're running some sort of rank 4 engine. Now you might say, Aura, there aren't a lot of consistent ways to pull this out. Well, stay with me for a bit. So the two cards, the easiest way to make this card is a combination of Photon Thrasher and Goblinberg and Masked Chameleon. I'll start with Masked Chameleon. Masked Chameleon is a level 4 tuner type reptile monster that came out in Judgment of the Light that reads as follows. It cannot be special summoned if you control level 5 or higher, but it cannot be normal summoned, but it doesn't mean you can't special summon it from your hand. But when it's normal summoned, it special summons a monster from the graveyard with 0 defense points. But the other restriction is you cannot special summon anything except for an extra deck when you activate this effect. So what this card does, it gets Goblinbergs that you've already, and Photon Thrashers that you've already used out of your graveyard, and then allows you to make synchro plays and make a rank 4 play if you so wish. It's one of the things I really like about Chameleon. It opens up those plays. Now, I prefer Photon Thrasher over Goblinberg because Goblinberg can be Fiendish Chain. That's one of the things I've never liked about it. Is you normal summon it, gets chained, and it just sits there on the field. So in the current format, it depends on what you're playing against, but I would say Photon Thrasher because you can summon Thrasher, and if they Fiendish Chain it, you can just keep going. So it depends on which one you like, but it's a fairly splashable engine because Photon Thrasher and Goblinberg are searchable off of Reinforcement of the Army, which is currently here at 3 in the TCG, and Masked Chameleon is a reptile type monster, which means there is a rank 4 monster called King of the Feral Imps that can search any reptile type monster from your deck to your hand by detaching 1 Exceed material. So this engine doesn't cost you that many cards. It's basically an 8 to 9 card main deck engine and 1 extra deck monster. Now if I'm playing a rank 4 deck, I'm probably running those cards because it's such a small engine, but it opens up a lot of plays. So Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you for watching this video today. Really appreciate it when people watch my videos. Tune in on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. And if you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe. This is Orstorm signing out.